All right, guys, you set up the perfect appointment. Perfect.
You all have known me for a while, and for a long time now you've been hearing me talk about being perfect.
Nobody's perfect, but this appointment's gonna be perfect. You got off the phone with the seller, you've been speaking with them back and forth. Maybe you've been texting back and forth, emailing, phone calls, whatever happened on the phone, you finally scheduled an appointment. So now it's time for you to act. It's time for you to prepare to put on your best show. And you do this at the appointment. What you can do at an appointment is not the same thing as a phone call. What you can do in an appointment is greater than what you can do over the phone. What you can do in an appointment is greater than what you can do in an email, in a text message. That's why the appointment is so important. If you're not setting appointments, you're not going to be closing as many deals as the next guy. Even if they're absentee owner, you must set an appointment. You gotta see the property, right? In this video, we're gonna talk about before the appointment. What you do before you go to the appointment. Before the appointment, you must give your seller an expectation. This is really important. When you give your seller an expectation of what ballpark price you could most likely offer, you give the seller an expectation of what time, what day you'll be there. Give your seller an expectation of how the home needs to be accessed. If they're out of state and they're not present, give the seller the expectation that you will be passing through the property, perhaps when their tenants are in the property. You want to give your seller that expectation so they know exactly what's going on. Okay, comp your properties and do the research. Before you go to the appointment, you need to know exactly how much your property could be worth. Hopefully before the appointment, you found out that the seller is okay to accept a full price if it's on your terms, or perhaps they're really close to a decent cash offer, and maybe at the appointment you can work them down after you see the condition. Before the appointment, you are looking at the area. You're looking at what is active on the MLS. You're calling active listings. You're asking realtors, how many viewings have you had on your property? How many showings? Are you under contract? Do you have any families looking to purchase? You want to kind of understand that activity in that market before you go to the property. You also want to pull the 3 lowest comps in that neighborhood. Comps is a comparable, by the way. Comparable sales. Properties that are within the same range of square footage, style, year. You want to pull those comparables. Pull the 3 lowest. Perhaps they were also cash sales. You don't want the highest, of course. Don't worry. Your seller's probably going to express which property sold for the highest. We'll talk about that a little bit later when you're at the appointment. Okay, make sure you prepare your materials before you go to the appointment. Physical, tangible materials. If you're going to meet the seller at the appointment, have a folder ready. Have the comparable, the comps of the 3 lowest comps ready on paper. Have a contract ready so the seller can sign. Have the contract ready with the seller's name on the contract. Make sure you highlight it with a marker so they can see that their name is on it to assume the sale. Make sure you also have a proof of fund letter. A proof of fund letter is simply a letter written by a private investor or a hard money lender stating that they approve up to $1 million or $500,000 or whatever the purchase price of the property is for purchase of this home. Typically you can get a generic one. If you need a generic one, let me know. If you're in the state of Arizona, I definitely have an opportunity for you. If you're outside of the state of Arizona, just reach out. I could probably give you a proof of fund letter. Okay, this one seems very silly for me to post. Set reminders for the seller. As silly as that sounds, you'd be surprised how many times sellers decide, oh, I don't have time today, can we reschedule? And the biggest enemy that you have right now is time. The longer the seller has to think about selling the house, to talk to other buyers, to talk to a realtor, the worse chance you have to actually purchase the home. Set reminders for the seller via their email, a text message. Set these reminders with your virtual assistant. If you need virtual assistants, we have virtual assistants for you so that they can help you set reminders, they can help you prepare materials, they can help you comp properties. But if you have your seller who's a little bit older, who still uses email, do it anyway. Set the reminder, it's so important. Guys, the perfect appointment starts before the appointment. You need to give your seller an expectation. Make sure that before you've set this appointment, the expectation is you could pay full price or you could pay their price if they're willing to be creative. If they agree to it, awesome. If they're willing to accept a cash offer or they're pretty darn close, at least you've set the expectation. You could probably work them down after you get to the house. Comp the properties. So important that you comp the properties in the area. If you're going to see 123 Main Street, make sure you look in that same block, in the same quarter mile for the 3 lowest comps. Can't stress this enough. This is how you're gonna negotiate the best deal. Remember to prepare by getting all the materials ready. I'm talking tangible materials, contracts, comps, proof of funds. Your contract needs to be ready to sign. It should have the name of the seller on it. If you're gonna meet the seller there, it's very impressive to have the name of the seller printed, typed out on the contract. The comps need to be printed out. Of course, they're gonna be there through lowest comps, so make sure they're printed out on an easy to read paper so that he or she can definitely see what the value of the property could be. And proof of funds. You need to have some sort of credibility behind you that you can actually purchase their home for cash. Having a proof of funds letter written by a hard money lender is not hard. Ask your local hard money lender or private money lender to write up a proof of funds letter with their signature. Remember to set reminders for your seller. I know this sounds really bogus. Like, why would you include that in this video? But reminders for the seller is huge. For us in Phoenix, there have been many times where we didn't set reminders and the sellers either forgot or they rescheduled on us. And if you show how serious you are by setting reminders that alerts them via email, they're going to more than likely be available for you to show the property. Guys, if you do all these things before the appointment and you prepare by having all the materials ready in a folder, you pulled the lowest comparables, you gave the seller an expectation, you set the reminders, you are ready. You are ready for that appointment, and I'm excited for you to actually go there and close the deal. Stay tuned. The next episode is going to talk about what you do at the appointment. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was just a taste of what we have to offer in training and help from our community inside Flippin' Paper, the Facebook group. If you haven't been in the group before, please go onto Facebook, search Wholesaling Houses Flippin' Paper, and become a member ASAP. There's so many people in there that are here to help you learn the ropes, whether it comes to cold calling, lead follow-up, closing deals, contracts, creative financing, seller finance, seller or lease options, whatever it is under the sun, we're here to help you. Join the group ASAP. Thanks for watching.